Hello, welcome back to my podcast on real relationships. I want to speak about making memories. It sounds like something that happens because, of course, we remember things, but I want you to start to focus in your relationship, your love relationship, in making memories. It's kind of like a bucket list, but not quite. And the reason we want to start looking this way in relationships is that this will cement the relationship and it will actually encourage you to have stronger and more loving feelings towards each other. You get the experience of making the memory and creating some kind of environment or something that you do for the memory. But then you also get the experience about talking about the memory later, that when we went there. And with today's phones, we'll have photos and everything to attach to that situation that we just created. Creating memories also means that we're investing in our relationship. We're just not in the humdrum of 7 days a week, going to work, picking the kids up, doing what we need to do, feeding the dog, going seeing our mum. We're not investing just in that. We're actually investing in our relationship in a very positive way. When you do this, you can do it in two ways. So you can create memories by talking to your partner about something you want to do that you both haven't done, and we're going to save up to maybe go hang gliding or go and have one of those massage baths, or a couple of days away in a beautiful place that you want to go. It can be that kind of memories. Or it can be going back to where we had our honeymoon, or things that we haven't been doing, like maybe we used to go down the beach before at sunset and we haven't been doing that. So we do this as a couple. So we try and create the memory and we talk about making this event happen, and then we go and do the event. The other way is that you create the memory for your partner and give them like a surprise, which is really kind of beautiful. They really like certain things. Perhaps they like the opera or the flowers. You take them to the opera and buy the tickets, or you take them to a special flower exhibition. It's actually meeting their needs. It's actually then meeting the needs of your relationship, because once you meet their needs, then you do likewise, and then you create this beautiful memory. Now, in real life, sometimes it goes really well. There will be times when you try and create a great memory and it doesn't work, and you just have to understand that. For example, if you haven't been out for a long time and you get the kids babysat, it can happen, as it did with us once, that we went out to dinner and then we ended up having this stupid fight and wouldn't talk to each other in the evening and wrecked the whole night. And I'm not sure if it was that we were just so overtired from screaming children, or that the pressure, like to have a good time for 2 hours and have time out, was too much and we just got, I don't know, cranky with each other. So sometimes it might not work, but most times it will work. By creating memories, you're actually making that relationship also live. It's sort of surpassing going to work, coming home, cooking tea, mowing the lawn, seeing a few friends. It's surpassing that. It's injecting. It's like you're making little magical memory injections along the way, which you travel into, look forward to, then you experience them, and then you look back and you experience them. It's bringing that magic back into your life, and it has to take an effort because it will not probably organically happen. You'll probably have to go and actually do it. For example, with my husband, for one of his birthdays, I have a friend who had a plane. I asked the friend, would he take him up as part of the birthday present and in his plane and have a plane ride, because my husband loved planes. I had made that memory, and he always had that memory of when he went up with that guy and had his plane flight. You'll have to actually do the pre-work to actually make it happen. But it's worth it, because that they almost are little things in our life, like little shiny parts of our life when we look back, and they're little mini adventures that we have in our relationship, and they give a depth to the relationship, because one, we're saying, I really, really love you and I want to spend time with you, and I really, really love you and I want to do something that will make you happy, be something that's so special for you and for both of us. That's what you're actually doing. Now, today's podcast is about creating those memories just between the two of you. I'm talking about a couple one, particularly. There'll be family memories, of course, but don't just rely on those. It's very easy once you get into a family that you just rely on all the family things that you do. And as we all know, some of those family holidays have been pretty challenging and lots of things went wrong. And when we look back, some of them were not as easy as other in reality. It can be a little bit like National Lampoon's Holiday, I think. However, when we do the couple one, that's just the two of us, and there's less likelihood for it to turn out badly. Listen to your partner. You can ask them a few questions too, incidentally, and find out some things that they still like to do with their little bucket list, as I call it. Then just see if you can quietly get that done for them. Because if, for example, they've always wanted to go dancing and you go and buy 5 dancing lessons for you to go and learn the salsa together, that's going to create a memory. If the person always wanted to go to the car show in another state and you see the car shows on and you buy the tickets for them and you know that they've got the time to do it, then they go off and go to the car show. It can be creating memories that you're both in or you're giving to each other. So there's 2 parts of it, because it's a kind and generous thing to do, and it also helps us keep in touch with who our partner is, the differences, and then the things that are the same between us. The magic memories that you create can be reruns. If you like going to a certain place and it has sentimental or nostalgia for you, you can just keep going back to that place and the memory is reaffirmed. If it's a new memory, then you can do that one. And sometimes it can be a little bit going back in time as well. Maybe they've been missing their own house in a certain place and haven't been, or maybe you can go away for the weekend and visit that area again. Or if they like the mountains, you do something where you go to the mountains. It can be very hard to do this when you're caught in with work and don't have a lot of time off, and that's when you've got to be smart and create memories that will work. So if you can't go to Mexico, you go to a Mexican restaurant, or you can't go to Thailand, you go and eat Thai. You can create things in a sense that will give you a little bit of whatever that was. And I think that is going to really help you maintain your relationship and enrich it. It'll be more rich, this relationship now, because you'll have the daily relationship and then you'll have all these little magic moments, these magic memories that you did this and did that. Because at the end of our life, I'm sure people don't remember when they bought the new fridge, but they do remember when they were walking along the beach in Thailand. So these are the things that we actually stick with us, that they stay with us and they never die, and you've always got them. And that's the other thing. It's like an investment in your present, but it's also investment in your future. Write a little bucket list of your own if you want to, and your partner can do that, and then you could probably share it and try and make sure you do it for each other. It could be simple things, and it could be more complicated and more expensive things too. I'm not talking about so much making gifts, but that can also come into it as well. For example, if you know that your partner's always wanted a ruby ring, or your husband has always wanted a special, drill or something, you don't have to wait for the birthday. You can just buy it for them, go out for dinner, and then just present it. That goes with the dinner, or where you went out for coffee and then you just, out of your handbag or in your bag, you just present it. These make memories. People remember when they were given things out of context, like not birthday or Christmas. They were just given things impulsively by the other person, and it makes for a wonderful memory. These things are what we need to embellish our relationships and to also make it special and very individual. There'll be an individual relationship then that we have with that person, and all these things will be very meaningful. So I hope that you can either make your bucket list, make your couple bucket list, and start to work on making time and making the effort and making the investment to create some magical memories for your relationship. That it doesn't get dry and old and boring, that you keep igniting it all the time with some new passions that you want to do and excitement that you haven't done for a while. It does take a little bit of effort, but with the internet these days, you just get in there and you sit down and press all those buttons and put your credit card in, and hey presto, now we're going. It's much easier for us in some ways. We don't have to walk to the place or do a lot now. We can do it just straight from home. And I want you to generate more magical memories in your relationship, because you'll never regret it. And even after the person's passed, you always have them to hold in your heart. They'll always be there. It's not something that goes away. It's like a permanent part of you now. Even when the person has died, it still is a permanent part of you and how you were as a couple. So I encourage you to start creating a magical memory box for yourself, your little treasure box of what you want to do. And I think it can't do anything but make you closer and make you more in love and make you more appreciative and grateful for having each other every single day of your life. And I'm sending you lots of love and lots of healing.